It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio, 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Keatsman on a fabulous Friday. Temperatures dropping. I heard that forecast. They're like high of 71 this afternoon. That is long gone. They're dropping, and here we go. Coming out of the north. Should be a rainy weekend, but we need that. We want everything to look beautiful and wonderful around our yards and parks and beautiful areas and green spaces we have around Kansas City and the surrounding areas. So we like it. Springtime is good, and we hope you and your family have a wonderful Easter weekend. If you're Christian and it is an important weekend to you, we hope it's great. I'm going to go to Mass with my mom. She's very excited. She has had some health issues the last few weeks and has not been able to get to Mass recently, so we're very excited about going to Easter Mass on Sunday. Looking forward to that. Maybe we will see you there. We got a fine show lined up for you today. Wow, we got some strange stories. We have a post from the first person that entered the race to run for governor of Kansas. He's a podcaster in Kansas City. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. We'll get into MS-13 man later because, of course, we will. And a woman dies getting plastic surgery done in New York. This story is unbelievable. We start today with yesterday's monologue, but I never got to. Remember, I never got to yesterday's monologue. So we will do it today. And this has to do with a comedian named Tyler Fischer. And Tyler Fischer is a really interesting guy. He's been on Gutfeld. You've seen him maybe on Fox News. He was just in Kansas City recently. He's a stand-up comedian. And he's one of these guys that's all over Twitter and social media because what he does is basically Trump impressions. And he's very funny, and people really like it. And I'm on board with it. I think he's a nice enough dude and pretty funny, and I follow him on Twitter. And he took to X a couple of days ago because he'd been bombarded with Gutfeld fans, stand-up fans. He's got all these fans on social media now. They're like, why are you not on Gutfeld anymore? And he unloaded on Fox News. And that's the beginning of this story, but it's not really where I'm going. So have a little patience with me. I know many of you watch Fox News. Tyler Fischer posted, after almost 2 years, I will no longer be on Gutfeld's show. Sadly, they've gone full woke and kicked me off for a reason that is beyond hard to believe. What is my woke crime? I asked an employee out for coffee. Yes, that's why I'm off the show. I have proof of all this, and I'm seeking legal counsel for defamation because this is absolutely insane. It's not illegal or against any rules at Fox News to ask a grown adult for coffee. But in the woke mind virus world, any advance by a man is labeled as some kind of toxic masculinity. This is why men have stopped approaching women in real life off dating apps, because being a man of chivalry and doing what men have done forever, showing interest in women by offering to take them on a date, is now turning into a crime. It's beyond tragic to see men hide away in fear. I, for one, will not allow it to happen to me. After being canceled, I have reached out to my people at the TV show for months, and they've completely ghosted me. I've gained hundreds of thousands of new fans from the Gutfeld show, and I can no longer handle the amount of messages or in-person questions about why the hell I've disappeared. I told the show out of respect for the fans that I need to post something about this so they'll know. Can we please have a conversation before I do it? Still, they would not respond, not have a single conversation, not any word at all. And he goes on and on and on and says he was the opening act for Gutfeld's live performances. He would be the stand-up comic that would come out and warm up the crowd, and everybody liked him. And he's basically telling everyone Fox News is not what you think it is. They tolerate the conservatives that are on air. He's not saying those people are fake. He's saying they're real. There's a lot of MAGA there. I think Gutfeld describes himself as a libertarian. But he's saying the people that run the place are completely woke and terrified. Now, they've had things at Fox News that are not good. There have been, sexual misconduct allegations. There's been lawsuits settled. There's been a lot of things have happened at Fox News. That's not unusual for Fox News. It happened at ESPN about a decade and a half ago, or maybe a little longer than that ago. When something starts small and begins to get big, it gets wild. And it's like NIL in college athletics right now. They call it's the Wild West. Well, Fox News was that at one point, and they needed to reel it in. There is no rule against any of this. Sean Hannity is marrying Ainsley Earhardt, who's the host of the morning show. They've been together for years after Hannity got divorced. You can figure the whole story out if you want, whatever. So there's no rules there. Tyler Fischer says he got in trouble for this. Now, we don't take one side and believe it here at Uncanceled. I respect the man for standing up for himself. It sounds like there has to be more to this story. But it led me down a path of something bigger that we have not talked about on this show, and I haven't talked about on my podcast. And I don't know anybody that's talking about this. And this is real. Fox News is in peril. It's in peril of being taken over by liberals. This is a crazy story of a 93-year-old man, Rupert Murdoch, who is a multi-billionaire. Fox News, Fox Corp is valued at $61 billion. And he has 4 children. One child, Lachlan, is a committed conservative. And he would like to leave Fox News in Lachlan's control when he dies. Again, this man is 93. The other 3 kids are committed liberals, including James, who has sued his dad and blocked him in a Reno, Nevada court where the will and trust was set up for a succession plan. You've heard of the TV show Succession? It's loosely based on the Murdoch family and Fox News. James Murdoch has called Fox News a menace to our society that peddles in lies, and he wants control of it, which means he wants to completely change Fox News into CNN when his dad dies. Rupert to this day has complete control, but he's 93. He could fall over tomorrow. As it stands now, it would probably still be tied up in court, but he lost. Rupert Murdoch lost in a Nevada court. The judge ruled he has no right to change his own trust and what the kids get and what they do when he dies. Can you imagine they found a court that ruled that? They're saying that he did some things, some nefarious things within the case of this trust, that he acted in bad faith in the paperwork that he filed with the state of Nevada, and he's working hard right now to change all this. I don't know if he'll be able to do it or not. My question is it seeping in at Fox News? Is it already creeping in? Because a lot of people claimed from the 2020 election that they felt like Fox News was turning and changing and moving away from being conservative and moving toward at least the middle, but maybe even the left. But again, the son, Lachlan, is a committed conservative, and Rupert Murdoch's wish, he's also conservative, is that Lachlan runs this when Rupert Murdoch dies. Now, there's a couple of ways out. He could sell this right now. He's trying literally with 3 of his liberal kids to offer them billions of dollars to buy out their stake in the company so he can give it and leave it to Lachlan. The kids will not take billions of dollars. They want to destroy Fox News. That's the only thing they want to do. They don't care about money. They're so rich. They've been so rich for so long, they don't care about money. They only want to destroy Fox News. James is the worst of the 3 liberal kids. He put in $20 million to the Kamala Harris campaign to defeat Donald Trump. $20 million. This is the man who could be running Fox. And the reason he would be running Fox is the way the trust is set up now is it's left to all the kids equally, and they vote on whether to take dad's plan or change it to a new plan. That's the way it's set up. The 3 liberals will vote against the conservative, and they'll have control. And it's over. What we've seen in a reaction in real time the last few weeks is Newsmax, which is now not just a website, it's a channel. They went public. Their stock went up. They're conservative. A lot of people are watching Newsmax. You hear some of their ads right here on KCMO Talk Radio. We're affiliated with Fox News Radio here. So we have a lot of affiliations with people who have great respect for the work that they do. Newsmax stock went crazy. It's come back down now, not all the way down, but it looks like there's a lot of speculation that Newsmax 10 years from now could be bigger than Fox News because of what could happen when Rupert Murdoch dies. This week, a group called Salem Media, which owns 117 radio stations in America, 60 of which are in top 25 markets, big stations. They do conservative broadcasting and religious radio, Christian radio. They purchased 30% of Donald Trump Jr.'s media company to partner up with him and Lara Trump to create content for Salem, but also to get Salem's content on Donald Trump Jr.'s platforms, which a ton of people follow. Trump Jr. posted up, hey, this is going to be one of the greatest, most outstanding conservative media platforms in America. Up, and away to the skies we go. There's a lot of, the point is we've got a deep bench with conservative media. There's a lot of people out there working in this space, and they think there may be an opportunity that just hasn't existed before. Fox News has just been the big bully on the block, and that's that. Most people are okay with that. They like it. The people that watch Fox News watch it longer than people watch ESPN every day. There are literally people in America that turn it on in the morning, and it never turns off. It's always on in the background in their house all day long. And they've got a lot of people that do that. The question is what happens when they turn it on one day and the liberals are in charge? What do they hear? As I was driving in this morning, I was flipping down the dial. My goal is to be in the car by the time John Anthony comes on with his 9 o'clock news. I want to hear what he says. I want to hear what the national news is. I heard the national news and the break hit, and I thought, okay, let me flip real quick. I'm curious. I knew the national news on here. I knew it was going to be because I'd heard it earlier in the day. And I flipped down to 980, which is a station that does some conservative talk on AM. It's all syndicated. And their news update is from ABC News. And I almost wrecked my car. It was so liberal, so outrageous. The reporting on MS-13 man, the things they were, of course, he was Maryland dad in this story. Then they went on that, illegally deported, all these different things. It's the terms they use, the way they describe the stories that are going on. And I was like, oh my God, I can't listen to this. And I guess I'd feel bad for the syndicated hosts that are on that channel because you can't listen to that station and hear the actual news updates if you're conservative. You can't do it. You can't listen. ABC is that bad. You can't. And it's like 2 minutes long. You're like, nope, I'm gone. I'm out of here. It was unbelievable. Is that what the Murdoch kids want to do to Fox News? They just want to put some programming in there that drives away the base audience, and then they'll alter it. I don't know. I don't know where it's headed. I just know it's a wild time in media, and more platforms, a lot of them very grassroots, just people starting businesses, are booming in this space. It works. Advertisers like it. For the first time ever, I welcome anybody to advertise on this show. For the first time ever in this, Rush Limbaugh fought this forever. He had trouble getting sponsors. Then it became such a big audience. People are like, you know what? We just got to do this. There's a lot of people listening. We got to do it. They didn't want to be identified as a conservative business. That's over. Trump has broken this barrier. It's taken a decade, folks. It's been 10 years. He's broken it. People are not afraid. And just because they advertise here doesn't mean they're dyed in the wool like I am or you are or whatever. They may advertise other places that believe other things, but they're not afraid to be here. We were toxic at one point. This format was toxic for, I can't advertise over there on conservative radio. I don't want the blowback from all these crazy people that are going to come after me. We're just getting in a space where more and more people don't care. The biggest boom in media in this country is center or right of center. And advertisers are coming in, by just droves of advertisers are coming in. They're unafraid, and it's awesome. It's a very cool thing. But note that Fox News could be in trouble. It's in peril. If Rupert Murdoch died today, I don't know what would happen. It would be the biggest court battle you ever saw and the biggest story in the country. And I wonder if it's starting to happen based on Tyler Fisher's comments on what his experience has been on the Gutfeld Show. If you'd like to comment on that, or if you have any questions about that, give me a call. If not, I got a million topics today. 913-408-7957. Our phone lines are open. Uncanceled continues next on KCMO. We're back on Uncanceled. Great to have you with us on this Friday. We're heading to the phones. We got a couple of lines open. If you'd like to join us, I can get you right on at 913-408-7957. We start today with Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hey, in my 20s, I listened to Rush Limbaugh every day for about 10 years. I worked an evening shift. I would just love to know. I would love for Rush to be around to see what's going on. I got a couple family members that watch CNN 724. When I go to their house, they're just depleted. One of them, I went in this house the other day, was making a sign to go protest Elon Musk. And he's an old hippie. And I want to say to him, he worked at Procter & Gamble and got laid off all the time as a young father. And I want to say, nobody was protesting you, helping you out. I mean, I just don't get it. It's so night and day difference between all these news cycles. And I tell people all the time, I listen to NPR every once in a while, and it's just mind-blowing.
Well,
the difference.
I'll give CNN, I won't say credit. I'll note that they have now not just Scott Jennings, they've got another conservative on their shows in the evening. They always have a conservative voice on there now. And most of the reaction on social media, if you actually see what's taking place, and that's where all the young people are, and I think this is why the young vote is changing so dramatically, they see the clips and they're like, well, there's 7 people on this set. There's one conservative, and that's the guy that's smart. That's literally what's happening. People are watching now, and they're going, oh, gosh, the conservative guy is right. And that's a good thing. The people you're talking about that make signs, they're in a party that the majority of their party believes the government needs to be reformed and spends money wastefully. They believe that. But they just don't like that it's Trump and Elon Musk doing it because they're considered to be Republicans now. These are people that are dyed in the wool, will do anything for their party over the other party, no matter what. And it has nothing to do with the issue we're talking about. Nobody's really against government waste being cut. Nobody's against that. Nobody in this country. They are forced to be upset about and defend a position on things that Americans agree on, like illegal aliens that are gang members in El Salvador. It's where he belongs. The public's decided on this. They're outliers, man. I wouldn't worry about it. If you got people like that in your family, they probably need to get counseling more than anything. But it's a sad situation that you just want to hate somebody because of the party they're in, even though if you agree, our government wastes money and spends it in crazy places and we should clean it up, because most Democrats agree with that.
Yep, I just spent the last week down at Lake of the Ozarks, man, and hung around a lot of young people, and it was great. They all think the same way we think down there. It's pretty cool.
Yep, very nice. Jeff, great to have you on the show today. Thanks for calling in.
Take care.
I read a story this week that Kansas is losing population. They've lost 200,000 people since 2000, another 5,000 last year, which is a lower number than most years. And it's a red state, and it shouldn't be happening. It's a red state. Is it because of what's happening mostly in Johnson County, which used to be red and is not? Is the state going to change? Is this going to be a purple state? I don't know. Here's what Kansas better do, and they better do it fast. They better become and act like a red state. The tax laws here are not good. The surrounding states have better tax policies for businesses and individuals. There's a high income tax in Kansas. People don't like that. They can move 5 hours to the south, not even that far, 4 hours to the south, and be in Texas and not pay any state income tax. The other states around them have lower state income taxes. And it's been a long time. There's a Democrat governor, and she acts like she's not. She's a committed liberal, and she's done damage in Kansas. And I'm not going to say that's the only reason the population thing is happening. There's a lot of reasons for it. But we're sitting here with this discussion in Kansas City about where the Chiefs are going to go and what it means. The Panasonic plant and the jobs it's bringing, or the Chiefs going across the state line, what does that mean? Kansas needs to grow. Kansas is one of the few. Missouri grew by, I think, 18,000 citizens last year. And it's been growing. Why? People identify it as a red state. They're like, that's where I want to live. When you're leaving a blue state, you want to go to a red state. And nobody is considering Kansas. Nobody. Nobody from anywhere else is considering moving to Kansas. And that's a problem. And I think we're also finding a lot of people in Missouri, in the liberal parts of Missouri, moving out of Kansas City, Missouri, or on the Missouri side that are liberal, that really don't like a lot of the things about Missouri, thinking, okay, I can go over here. Johnson County's liberal enough for me. Goodness knows there's plenty of apartments. By the way, if you build enough apartments, you will be a blue district. You will be a blue county. That's just the way it is. It's going to happen. Now, maybe that changes if all these young people really are conservative, like they say they are, or they're going to be conservatives. But apartments are largely built, and they house young people just starting out, young single people going into their profession, getting a job, whatever. They rent an apartment. They like to live their 20s, in a social scene, going to the bars, all that. It's all cool. We've all been there. Everybody's been there. We know what that lifestyle is all about. But if Johnson County is where all the apartments are being built, and that's where everybody's moving, you're importing Democrats. Right now, you're importing Democrats, unless the demographic completely changes. So Kansas has an issue in that regard. We come back, I'm going to talk about an unbelievable poster that was sighted in the hallway at Topeka West High School. And this has to do with gender. This is going to knock your socks off. We'll do that next. This is Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio. I'm Kevin Keatsman. We are back in a flash. Isn't John Mayer with the Grateful Dead now? Is that right? Well, it's not something you'd know, is it, Mark?
I did not know that, but he could be.
I thought he fronted the Grateful Dead now. John Mayer. Dead and Company or Dead and Friends or something like that. They did the Sphere. Maybe not. Len back in sales, right?
Yeah.
Do you know where he was this week?
Watching the Grateful Dead?
No. Oh. Close. That's what made me think of it. His brothers live in New York, I guess, and he went back to go to Madison Square Garden to see the Allman Brothers.
Oh, nice.
They had a 50th reunion, something or other, at Madison Square Garden.
That would have been fun.
He was so excited to have gone. Good for him. That's awesome. Benny Johnson is host of The Benny Show, and he has just posted on X, breaking, the Trump administration has overhauled the COVID.gov website into a massive lab leak data center displaying scientific proof that COVID was man-made in Wuhan, China. The official site now names Dr. Anthony Fauci as the criminal who covered up COVID's origins. I mean, if they're doing that on the website, is the DOJ looking into this? Are they going to go for Fauci? What is it? So the page says President Donald J. Trump, the White House, and it has a giant headline that says lab leak, the true origins of COVID-19. The origin, and I'm reading this straight from the site according to Benny Johnson. COVID-19 publication used repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory was prompted by Dr. Anthony Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated naturally. It is now at covid.gov, a place I've never been. I've never gone to that site. I never thought I'd go to that site. To me, that's the C word. I don't even like saying it or talking about this issue. But if it's your issue and Fauci in trouble is your thing, go to covid.gov and check out the site. Apparently, it has just changed this morning, and it's a dramatic change. There's a man that lives in Kansas City named Doug Billings. He lives on the Kansas side. I believe he lives in Olathe. I've met Doug a couple of times at events, had him on my podcast a couple of years ago one time. He does a podcast called The Right Side. It's on Rumble, and he is a multimedia kind of guy, works for himself, frequently takes pictures at places and events that he goes to. A lot of folks know who Doug Billings is. He was the first candidate in Kansas to actually file the paperwork to run for governor. So we have a podcaster running for governor. That's not really the story. What the story is for me is what he posted yesterday on his X feed. And that was the picture of a poster that he says is currently hanging up in the hallway at Topeka West High School in Topeka, Kansas. And on this poster, Doug Billings writes, "This nonsense ends when I'm governor. Believe it." And he signs it Doug Billings. I'll hold it up for the little camera right here. I don't know how this works. If you're watching online, this is a photocopy of the poster. You can see what it looks like. I'll hold it up again in a moment. KCMO Talk Radio, our Facebook page. We're live on X every day at KCMO Talk Radio. You can see the live stream feed. And this is what the poster looks like. Now I'm going to read to you what's on it. And I'm not sure I can read all of this on radio. I read it all on my podcast. Yeah, right. Hang on to that button. Here we go. At the top of the poster, it says, "You don't need to, ... And then it's like a fill-in-the-blank thing with a bunch of photos of women and a saying next to them. And at the bottom, it says, "To be a woman." So you don't have to be this to be a woman is the point. One of them says you don't have to shave to be a woman. It says you don't have to have breasts to be a woman. You don't have to have maternal instincts. You don't have to smile all the time. You don't have to menstruate. You don't have to find a certain gender attractive. You don't have to wear makeup. You don't have to dress a certain way to be a woman. You don't have to have a high or low sex drive to be a woman. You don't have to be sensitive to be a woman. And then this one out of nowhere. And this is the one that really got me. I'm going to do this because I heard Pete use this word. So if it's good enough for the boss man, I can say it. You don't have to hold your farts in to be a woman. There it is. There's the live stream. You should be on the live stream every day, checking out the studio. I'm going to start bringing visuals in. Don't you think we should bring visuals in of some of these crazy things?
Yeah.
Like Libs of TikTok has made a living doing that, right? Of just visuals of people going crazy.
Yeah, it's a good thing, I think.
This is it.
People like it.
This poster's a lot more interesting to look at than me. I can promise you that. So go to our Facebook page, go to our page on X at KCMO Talk Radio, and you can see the live stream every day, the video feed in studio. I'm not much to look at. I'm a little more animated and crazy and arms waving than I ever thought. I've never seen myself on video doing radio, but that's kind of what I am. Doug Billings is running for governor, and I think you can follow him on Twitter and things like that as well. What is that doing in a high school? And I had a friend who texted me this morning and said, "Oh, that's my high school." And he's like, "I just hope that a kid put that up and not the school." I don't know. It's clearly on a cinder block wall. It's a cardboard piece of paper on a cinder block wall. So somebody posted it up with some tape and put it on the wall at Topeka West, according to Doug Billings. So there you have it. I guess that's what you get. Now, if we don't live in a weird enough world, how about this one? A 31-year-old woman. And I'm a compassionate guy. I want to start this out because this is going to sound like I'm not very compassionate or caring, and I want to be. I feel sorry for anything that happens to people that are really bad. But we also know sometimes people put themselves in strange positions and bad things happen. 31-year-old Maria Penaloza of Queens, New York. has died as a result of having her butt implants removed. Now, this story gets worse. That sounds like a heck of a lawsuit, doesn't it? You went to your Botox doctor. You didn't like your butt. First of all, you're 31, ma'am. You don't need butt implants. You probably got them in your 20s. She went into cardiac arrest because the attending doctor administered lidocaine with a syringe, and they took her to the hospital, and she was immediately declared brain dead. They waited for a while and declared her dead. The kicker of this story, you're not going to believe. This was an illegal procedure by a man who was not a doctor in his home. You have butt implants, and you went to Felipe Hoyos Ferranda's home and said, yeah, put the lidocaine in there. Yeah, use the syringe. Can you get these butt implants out? Let's do this. And you never lived to tell about it. Of course, he's been charged, and he's in real trouble for operating without a medical degree. He is not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. Now,
He just likes seeing women's butts, it sounds like.
maybe. Look, the picture I saw of the dude, he looks like he's kind of suave, like he's the kind of guy that would maybe be around a lot of women and they'd believe him. He's got a beautiful smile. I mean, he just looks like that guy, right? He's like 36, talks these girls into coming to his house. I'll do your Botox, tells him he's the doctor. It looks like he's just a total fraud. No, we'll just do that at my house. Well, that sounds like a grift, doesn't it? I think we know what he's in it for. Was she his girlfriend? Was something going on? I don't know. If she was the girlfriend, she had to know he wasn't a doctor. You cannot allow someone who's not a doctor to try to take the implants out of your ass. You just can't do it. So I am a compassionate person. I feel terrible that she's died. I question a lot of decisions in her life. If he was a total creeper and we find out he's not yet identified on sex registry or anything like that, sex offender registry. If that's what he did and like kidnapped girls and was like totally creepy and put the whammy on them and had some sort of drug that he did with these girls and got them to his house and molested them and all this and was doing this and he was a total freak, that's totally different. Now it would be, she's the victim of a crime, but it sounds like this was all willful and all he's being detained on is you can't operate without being a doctor, dude. You can't do that. What are people thinking? Like we were just talking, and everybody gets to make their own medical decisions. I can't figure out how our culture in this country has become so enthralled with, I want to try that. I want this. I want to try that. I got to try that. We have millions of women walking around amongst us today on planet Earth that look like ducks. They look like ducks. Their lips are not normal. They're not attractive. I don't know who they think that's attractive to, but once it gets in the female cult of I got to go get these shots and do this and get this, I got to look like a duck. My lips got to look like a duck. You know what I'm talking about, right, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name names, but yeah.
Right, but it doesn't look good. And you're putting stuff in your body. I don't get it. So I'm the first guy. I get sick tomorrow. Somebody tells me I got heart disease, I got cancer, whatever. Doctor, you tell me whatever you need to do. I just want to stay alive. I just want to stay alive. Healthy people going and doing stuff is just beyond me, or taking medicine or drugs, or I should be trying this, or maybe this is good for me. And they go from one thing to another and try this and try that. I don't get it. I'm guessing that's the category this woman was in. I don't know why some 20-something, now 31, would need butt implants. I feel bad. I feel bad for people if that's what they think, that they think that there's a pill or a procedure or a shot or something that's going to make you better when you're already healthy. This is where I agree with a lot of this stuff. I was just talking about this poster. You don't need to be this to be a woman. Well, these are freaky things they were talking about, okay? You don't have to be a supermodel. You don't. And I've never felt compelled to be Tom Cruise or George Clooney. Be the best you, and understand that your body is very good to you. Until you have something wrong with you, until you're unhealthy, your body treats you great. It fixes almost everything. It's a remarkable healing tool. And why people don't know that, or why they're searching for duck lips or whatever, or butt implants, is beyond me. What a tragic story in Queens, New York. Terrible stuff. All right, coming up next, we're on the mark with Mark Van Sickle. Oh, we got a controversy at a local dentist office. I don't know if Pete talked about this or not. Have you heard this story? Ooh, we got a controversy at a dentist's office about something they employ at the dental office, and should that thing be there? That's next on KCMO Talk Radio. Oh, we decided to hold you through the break for those Kid Rock tickets. Yeah, so you could hear Brightside Plumbing. I kind of want to meet those guys, I'm not going to lie. Kind of want to meet them. Kid Rock tickets up for grabs right now. Tomorrow night, T-Mobile Center, downtown Kansas City. 7th caller wins the tickets. 913-408-7957 for Kid Rock tickets. Go get on them. Okay, this story popped up. It's in Johnson County. I don't know exactly where this is. There's a dentist called The Art of Dentistry. And there's a real hullabaloo with other dentists and apparently the state of Kansas. I don't know that there's been any statutes or laws or anything broken by doing this. But this dentist, The Art of Dentistry, they say they're compassionate. They know that a lot of people are really jittery and unnerved when they come to the dentist, and they like to calm them down. Well, for years, what have we said? We sometimes calm people down with gas, with shots, with drugs, whatever it may be, to go to the dentist. This has happened for decades in our country. This dentist believes that 4-year-old Ivy is the solution. 4-year-old Ivy is a certified therapy dog. And when you arrive at the dental office, the dog greets you. If you're one of those folks that's just like completely and utterly anti-dog, can't stand them or allergic or whatever, maybe it's not your dentist, but Ivy has been found to be wildly popular with the patients. I don't know what a certified therapy dog is, but if there was one, my dog Cabo would fit. We call him our stoner dog. I mean, like when he was 1 and should have just been bouncing off the walls, he just looks at you like he's out of it, like he's at a Grateful Dead concert, which my wife has confirmed John Mayer is now with them. So I guess he could be a therapy dog because you're supposed to calm people, right? My dog has that. Is it certain kinds of dogs? Are they trained? Are they trained to come put their chin on your leg and in your hand and really calm you down and let them pet you? I'm not really sure. But this is a certified therapy dog. And the dentist says this is great for our patients. And when they need it, we'll take them, I guess, into the room, theoretically, when we get them in the chair or whatever, and the dog could potentially be there and help out. And other dentists don't like it. And the state of Kansas apparently doesn't like it. I mean, this doesn't bother me at all. But I think every restaurant with a patio should be dog-friendly. I love dogs. But I also don't think I should impose any of my feelings on other people. What I like and what you like can be two totally different things. I don't think there should be laws around things like this necessarily. If this is some sort of a health violation and they think it's, somebody could potentially get sick or die by being at the dentist because there's a dog in there, that's a totally different deal. I'll listen to that. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think anybody's making that argument. I think there's a lot of people in the industry that are like, this is not what dentistry is. This is not what we are. This is not who and what we are. And I think every restaurant should be able to choose whether or not they want to let dogs on the patio. My wife, you'll love this one. My wife thinks restaurants, she said she thinks restaurants should have patios in areas where there's no kids. Like a no-kid patio at a restaurant to her that allows dogs sounds like the greatest thing on earth. I need to get her in here someday. You need to hear this woman that I live with. Boy, if we got her ever unfiltered, get her a couple of glasses of wine and get her on the radio and hear the things that it'd be unbelievable. Like she literally thinks every patio should not have kids running around. They put games out there for the kids. Like you build a restaurant in Kansas City with a patio where they've got the bags games out. Because it's not going to be a couple of dudes or couples out there playing. It's going to be the monsters over there running around, throwing the bags. It's going to wind up under your table. So I get why some people are like that with dogs. My wife is like that with kids on the patio when we're out somewhere. So there you have it. I don't know. I say unless it breaks some sort of health code thing or medical practice violation, I don't see what the problem with Ivy is being at this dentist. You can go there or not. The dentist has the right to run their business the way they want. It's called The Art of Dentistry, and Ivy greets the patients every day. Winners on line 4. Am I going to the winner? Oh, very good. Okay. Congratulations. What is your name, sir?
Hey, thank you very much, Kevin. This is Greg. How are you today?
Good, Greg. Congratulations on winning the tickets, buddy.
Thank you. It wasn't my main intention, but I'll take them. Hey, I've I'm a Patriot member. I've emailed you numerous times. I work in the dental business, you might remember.
Oh, sure.
And I've been doing this 15 years. So I just want to let you know, I go in multiple dental practices all across Kansas City for years. I have experienced many practices that have dogs. And everybody usually loves the fact they have dogs. This is ridiculous that this Dr. Kierkegaard in Overland Park, South Overland Park, is having this situation with the Kansas Dental Board. It's absolutely stupid. And there's no reason that they should fight this. I'm not going to disclose which offices I know have dogs, but I could name 5 of them right off the top of my head. And patients love them. And it's not unsanitary. It's just the dental board's being ridiculous. And this dog, particularly Ivy, is listed as a rescue or as a therapy dog.
Certified.
Most of the other ones are not.
Yeah,
they're just there because the owner has the dog, and or the office manager, and kind of wanders around the office. So I'm guessing that some patient must have complained, even though the patient didn't indicate that.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Great insight. Thank you. It sounds like it's a growing trend.
Well, not only that, the dental board's being ridiculous. Yeah. Call them out.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot, Greg. Great to hear from you, man. Thank you. And thanks for support. I'm glad you listened to the podcast as well.
Yeah, no problem. Bye-bye.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Did not know that. I thought maybe this was some kind of a cutting-edge thing here in Kansas City. Pretty cool. Katy Perry's been in the news, Mark, with your buddy at, the guy that you know that you won't tell me who it is.
Wendy's,
That does the Wendy's tweets?
Yep.
So Wendy's is in hot water over posting, can you send her back to space on X? And then she also posted, she kissed the ground and she liked it. So all of Katy Perry's fans want Wendy's to apologize. They will not apologize.
No, they get into spats like this all the time, and they just get free media out of it. So
fantastic.
They love it.
He posted, I say he because there's a guy here in Kansas City that does this, right?
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
I was going to say they.
Yeah.
But
maybe. I don't know the person. It may be they, them. I don't know. It says, we bring spice to our social media posts, but we have respect for Katy Perry, quote, and her out-of-this-world talent.
Yes.
Away. Mic drop, baby. We ain't apologizing to Katy Perry. She's got out-of-this-world talent. Mark, will you rule out the Royals making the playoffs if they lose the next 3 at Detroit? They'd be 6.5 games back and 8-15.
I can't count them out yet, but I would say only like a 1% chance. So very small chance.
Thelma and Louise weekend for the Royals. They're headed for the cliff. They better find a way to win a game. The Vince Show's up next. Have a great Easter weekend.